Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Let's get started. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for your time today, to spend this time with us in the Friday night. So thank you very much. And for today's online seminar, we would like to focus on the topic of uh, the secrets of getting so much, everyone. Japanese company offer. Okay, so let's move on, then get started. Okay, so before we start, please put on your camera, and then if you have any questions, you can leave your questions underneath of the chat box. If you go underneath, you click there, you see there's a chat box, and you have any questions, you can leave the questions there. Or for the people on LinkedIn Live, you can also see there's or on this side, you can also see there's a chat functions as well. So you can leave questions anytime. Any ideas you want to share with us, please also share with us through the chat. Okay, so let's get started. So for today's presenter, so first of all, Tomomi. So she is the placement division manager here at CareerFly. And myself, I'm Dean. I'm the career supporter from CareerFly. So if you have any questions regarding to job hunting, job opportunities, or anything in general related to Japan, you can always connect to us and ask us anytime. So we're looking forward to talk with you and connect with you as well. So thank you. Okay, so today's agenda will be going through the introductions. And then after introduction, we're going through the 3 points of interviews, which we want you to take away and then utilize them in your future interviews. And then we will do the interview practice, Q&A sessions, and then we'll close. So especially for the 3 points of your interview, we'll be going through, first of all, give good impressions. How do we give good impressions? Second of all, it's when we explain our experiences, we want to have imaginable and simple stories that can explain our story well during interview. And then the third one is align your goals with the company or the jobs which you have applied to. So sit back, relax, and then let's learn about the topic. So let's learn about these 3 topics, and then the goal for today, we want you to take away, learn these 3 topics, and we want to, for you, future, to be able to get the Japanese companies offer. So first of all, since our goal is we want to get the offer from Japanese company, so today we will be going through we'll be also going through in the beginning of the interview process, and then the flow of interviews, and also the likes and dislikes from interviewers in Japan, in Japanese company. And the reason why these are important is we want you to understand these flows, and we're able to after knowing the preference of the company and also the interviewers, then we are able to tackle down to the 3 points we before we just discussing about just right beforehand. So yeah, now let's start with the first point, which is the interview process. And so you apply for a job, and then the first thing you will do is the CV screening. So the company will do the CV screening with you first. And then after that, if you pass the CV screening, then we will be going through the first interview, and then the second interview, final interview, offer meetings, and then offers. So this is kind of like a common Japanese company interview process. Okay. But in particular, I want you to focus on, it's actually not the amount of interviews which it comes. It's the more important thing. It's you need the more important thing on this slide is the focus point for each interview. So for example, first interview, usually it's with HR person from the company. So, and then the second interview could be, if let's say you're a software engineer. So the company might want to know more about your technical skills. And the final interview could be with C-levels. So, and then go on. Okay. So let me give you an example of what's the points that we should focus on in each interview. And I will pick out, for example, first interview with HR. So since with HR company, which HR from the company, the HR wants to see if you have a good culture match with the company. So the first interview will be something that you need to focus more on the culture fit. So before the interview, you will want to study the company's culture, do your research about company's culture from their websites, and actually websites can tell you a lot about company culture. And if you also receive a job description from let's say a recruiter like us, you can also ask recruiters about what's the company culture like in the company. And then by that, you can learn more about the company as well. So first company, relate to culture, study the culture before you go to the first interview. Another example, second interview, let's say you're interviewing with the engineers and a few engineers or the engineering managers from the company. So this interview will focus not only on your technical skills, but they will also want to see, okay, are you going to be a good teammate to work with? So both your technical skills and also how you will fit in the team, both are important. So first interview, second interview, these are the examples of what type of things maybe you should focus on, especially for the software engineers. Okay. So as you may see, interview is each interview different. So focus on different points. Okay. And here now you see the kind of common Japanese company interview with 3 interviews, but there's also exceptions. For example, some companies might only have 1 interview, and actually one of my candidates got offered with just 1 interview and then got the offer. Okay. And then some company might not have the offer meetings, or some companies might have 2 interviews, or some company might have coding tests either before first interview or in between first interview or second interview. So you see the variety of the process in different companies. Okay, so 3 interviews sounds like a lot of interviews to go through, but I would like to bring up one example for you. Actually, for example, Rakuten, they have 6 rounds of interviews. So now think about 6 rounds of interview. Actually, 3 interviews, it's quite okay. Okay. So now that we look at the interview process of the whole interview process. Now we also want to go into the interview flows. Okay. So interview flows of one interview. So here are 6 components. First of all, greeting. Second of all, self-introduce. And then explain your past. Then tell your future plans. And then company introductions from the company side. And then questions from interviewees. If you go apply for a company, you're in the interview, then you will be asking questions. But here, these 6 components seems to be very easily imaginable, but I would like to pick out 2 points that can put you ahead of other people. First of all, it's greeting. Greeting, for example, you go into the interview room face-to-face, or you join the Zoom or online interviews. Greetings can show your care toward to the interviewers. Let's say, oh, how are you today? How have you been? This can create a warmth between you and the interviewer. So this could bring up can show that you have cares toward to the interviewers Okay, and then the second thing I want to point out is the self-introduction. Self-introduction, everyone knows self-introduction, but why I'm pointing this out. So here actually is, I would suggest, or even myself, I would do is introduce myself first. What this could do is to show your proactiveness before the interviewer introduce themselves. So in general, I go to an interview, I will introduce myself first. And even right now, when I'm interviewing with candidates, I tend to introduce myself first as well to let them to know me. Yeah. So this is the interview flows of the Japanese company, and also maybe other countries would be similar as well. Okay. But okay, now let's take a look into some of the kind of common points of each interview, of what interviewer wants to know. Okay, what does the interviewers wants to know for each interview, not specific to a first interview or second interview, but the common points of what the interviewers wants to know. So interviewers wants to know, can this candidate grow in our company? Can this candidate grow in our company? Okay, so by knowing this, that you should prepare well about yourself to show that you are able to grow with the company which you are applying for. And interview is for interviewer, the company, to know about you, and at the same time it's also for yourself to know more about the company, to see if it's a good fit or not. Okay, so you can prepare to show yourself, to see if you to show that you can grow with the company together, so company can think that, okay, I want to invest in this candidate, and then invest in this candidate, and when you grow in the future, then you can provide the benefit for the company as well. Okay. So now, based on number 8, the number page number 8, the previous page. Now we want to look at the interviewers like and dislike. So here you see 5 different categories. First of all is reason for job hunting. Reason for job hunting. Second, it's interview preparation. Thirdly, experience explaining. Experience explaining. And then fourth, reason for application, why you're applying for this company. And then questions. So first of all, let's take a look at the like. The interviewer would like to see, for example, reason for job hunting. So you need to have a strong enough reason to support why currently you're doing job hunting, why you're doing job change. Okay. Second, interview preparation. As we know, we need to do research and practice well before the interviews. Practice well before the interviews. Okay. And then thirdly, interview also like to see if this candidate can explain well about their own experiences. Here we put it down as cover the 5W1H, the who, where, when, why, what, and then how. So if you explain your projects, you can put in the who, where, when, why, how, and you're able to explain your projects clearly. And then reason for application. Why are you applying to this company? Okay, so interviewers would like to see, it's because the company's vision or the business is what you want to do and it's aligned with yours. That's why you're applying to this company. And lastly, it's the question. So you want to prepare questions, but not just questions, you want to prepare good questions. Okay, good questions. So if you ask a question during interview, but if the question is obvious that you can get the answer from internet or doing research, then it would be better to not ask the questions. Now, let's go to the dislike. So the reason for job hunting, but the dislike part that interview would not like to hear, keep changing job for the same reason. Okay. And then interview preparation, either no research or no practice. Okay. Thirdly, experience explaining. Interviewer needs to ask many questions. Okay. reasons for application. Why are you applying for this job? Okay, but if you're not clear and sounds like any company could be fine, it's a no for the interviewers. Okay, and then questions to the interviewer in the end. If you either not preparing any questions or you only ask about benefits, also is also not a good thing to do when you're going to interview. So prepare questions during interview. But here, the dislike, I would like to point out two things: the reason for job hunting and experience explaining. So first of all, reason for job hunting. So here says keep changing job with the same reasons. Okay, let me give an example. For example, a software engineer, and now he's going to change job. But when you go to interviewer ask, so what was the reason this time you changing job? And then you answer, oh, because I run out of projects. So that's why I need to change company. And then the next company, you go to the next company. But until the end, the reason you change job again, it's because, oh, because I run out of projects. And then now you come into my interview, oh, what's the reason for job change? Oh, because I run out of project. Actually, this could cause the interviewer to think that, oh, why you keep having the same reason for job change? The interviewer might think that, oh, maybe your technical skill is not enough, or some other reasons. That's why maybe the client company does not want to take you on as their team. So yeah, if so, you want to prepare strong reasons instead of having the same reasons for the job change or the job huntings. Okay. Okay. Secondly, the experience explaining. So interviewers need to ask many questions. This is the dislike. If the interviewer needs to ask so many questions, we need to be careful. Okay, so we want to prepare well to explain our experiences well. But why I'm pointing this out is because, first of all, if you're not explaining well, it's going to be very hard for the interviewer to actually get to know you. Second of all, some candidates, some people might skip certain experiences not to talk about it. This could also cause the interviewer to think that maybe this candidate is not being honest, not trying to hide something. So you need to be careful of these points. Okay, so these are the two things specifically I want to point out for the dislike from the interviewers. So now that we already went through the interview process, interview flow, and what's interviewer wants to see, what's the like and dislike. Now I would like to go to the next part, which is our main topic, the 3 points of interviews. So 3 points of interview. First of all, giving good impression. Second of all, we want to explain our experiences with imaginable, simple stories of your experiences. And thirdly, align your future goals with the company. So let's take a look at the first one. Give good impressions. So give good impressions. Why is this important? We all know this is important, but why I'm talking about this right here? So actually, according to many studies, and you can read articles, people talking about this topic online. Within 3 seconds, you step into interviews, actually, interviewer might already decide if you're going to pass the interview or not. So the very first thing important, we want to give good impressions. So, okay, let's start getting into this. So first of all, look at interviewers. Secondly, say greetings. Then having communication. Then fit in the screen. Okay, so look at interviewers, either whether it's face-to-face or online. We want to look at interviewers. We oftentimes, for example, online interview right now, we tend to look at the screen, but we want to look at the camera as what I'm trying to do right now to show that, okay, I'm paying attention. If I'm doing interview and I'm paying attention, I'm listening listening to you and try to show my respect. That's why looking at the camera, looking at the interview can help you give a better impression. Second of all, say greeting. Say greeting, second point, say greeting. Not only say greeting, asking, oh, how are you today? But more importantly, you want to say thank you to show your appreciation for interviewers' time. To show your appreciation for interviewers' time. So say greeting is important. And then third point, have communication. We all know that going to an interview, it's very nervous. It's going to make us very nervous. So we want to have communication, because when we're nervous, we tend to talk for too long, or we tend to not maybe kind of zone out, only stay in our own world, I would say. So we want to have communication, not speech. If we talk for too long, that's only speech. So having communication, and that's the purpose of interview, to know each other, having communication. Okay. Finally, fit in the screen, as now we do interviews online a lot of times. So we want to fit in the screen. Sorry about that. Let me adjust my screen. So for example, if I'm in the interview and then interview can only see you with the half face. Actually, interviewer wants to see you with this. They want to see you, how you dress, like how you prepare and how you sit, what's your posture. They can also kind of tell the personality by this as well. So fit in the screen. So now that we give a good impressions, that's the beginning. We give the good impressions. Now we want to talk about our own experiences. So here, we want to tell our experiences with imaginable and simple, clear story. Imaginable with simple, clear story. So interviewer can know, actually imagine in their head, in their head, to know actually what you could do. Okay. So the first point is to tell from your college or university experiences. Tell from your college or university experiences. A lot of the times we also encounter people starting only talking about their current job, only talking about their current job. But the purpose of interview is to know you as a person. So we want to know your past until now, so we can know if the tendency of the person. So start from college and then university, and then to your current college, university, and then until your current job. But you also don't need to go too far all the way back to high school, or even talk about your fathers or mothers. That part we don't have to. Okay. Second point, tell your projects using number. Tell your projects using number. Okay. Let me give an example. Okay. I work with 5 engineers in the team. I work with 5 engineers in the team. Or let's say another example, I create 100 lines of codes. I create 100 lines of codes. Okay, this could give a clear idea of how many people you work with, how many codes you create. Okay. And then third point is use clear words, numbers, or nouns. Use clear words, numbers, or nouns. Okay, so let me also give an example here. So let's say I work with 5 people team versus I work with small teams. Small team is actually not a clear words, and it would advise not to use small teams, because small team could mean different things for different people. 5 people could be small team, but for some other people, maybe 10 people, still small team. So we want to use the actual number, 5 people. 5 people I work with 5 people in the team. Okay, so let's say super, very, a little. So these would be the words we should avoid during our interviews. Okay, so now I would like to let me bring up one more example, especially for software engineers. For software engineers, when people interview, maybe they will say, oh, I create an application and I do this, and that. but I create an application, I do this and that, but interviewer might think, so what type of application it is? So we want to use the words such as, oh, I create a web application, or I create a mobile application, or desktop application. So just using application is not clear. Using web application, mobile application, desktop application is more clear in this way. Okay. So let me give an example of my own. Now I step into interview, and then interviewer asks me, okay, I see your CV, you have experiences of a breast quintet album project. Would you like to tell me a little bit about it? Would you like to tell me a little bit about it? So how I would answer it, let's say. So in 2017, myself and my four other friends, we grouped together as a brass quintet. And first of all, also let me explain what's brass quintet to you. Brass quintet consists 2 trumpets, 1 trombone, 1 French horn player, and then 1 tuba player. So 5 instruments together form a brass quintet. And in this project, my role was the first trumpet player. And that's about the music side. But on the management side, I was in charging of managing the schedules and also booking the practice rooms. So weekly, we practice twice together. So I need to book at least twice per week for the practice rooms together. And also in the end, during the whole year, we performed 4 concerts together, and then we produced 1 album. For the 4 concerts, I also in charge of booking the concert halls. And then for the album side, I in charge of calling the company, the people who need to print and produce our CDs. So this is an example of my own project, which I have done before using for numbers or the clear words. Okay. So one thing about this, so a lot of times we explain our own experiences. We might think certain words are common. Because we're in that environment so long. So in the beginning, I mentioned about breast quintet, but maybe not everyone know about breast quintet. But if I didn't explain about breast quintet, interviewer might think, what's breast quintet? So that's why I was explaining, so people can understand what did I do. Okay. So this was my example. So now that we went through how to explain our own stories of the past, now we want to go with the futures. We want to explain our future goals. So we want to align our goal with the company. We want to align our future goal with the company. And that's why the reasons why we apply for this job. Okay. So first point, what you want to do should equal to the task, the responsibilities on the job descriptions. So if you're applying for a outsourcing staffing company, but you mentioning, oh, I only want to work in the internal projects, interviewer might think, why are you applying to our jobs? So we want to align our what we want to do and the responsibilities on the job descriptions. Second point, your value and your future plans should be aligned with company's mission, vision, value. So company can see that, okay, we will be going through the same direction together. We'll be going through the same direction together, versus if we're going away, then company will say, okay, we're not going the same direction, then next candidates. Okay. Third point, so from point 1 and point 2, we want to bring an actual example, relate to your experiences to support what you talk about in point 1 and what you talk about in point 2. So I also bring myself as an example. So I applied to CareerFly and I want to work in CareerFly. And the reason of this is, first of all, the mission and vision value of CareerFly is want to support international talents career fly in Japan. And this is what I want to do, right? So this is my answer of what I want to do, but I need to bring a story. So my story was, so I'm from Taiwan, and after high school, after first year of high school, I went to the US and studied there until I graduated college, and then I came to Japan. So I have explained so many different type of culture diversity, and I can sense the importance of diversity and bring the diversity into Japan as well. So this is why I want to do this. This is why I want to work in CareerFly. So this is my little short examples of the point 3. Bring an actual story to support your answers. Okay. So now that we went through the 3 points, first of all, give good impression. Second of all, we want to explain our past experiences with imaginable and simple stories. Third of all, we want to align our goals with our goals and the future plans with the company's vision, company's path together. So now that we're going through this, now let's do a practice together. So now if you open up the chat box and you see there's a worksheet, and thank you Tomomi for sending it. See the worksheets, and on the LinkedIn Live, you can also see the chat box. You can see the worksheets as well. So please go there, open up the worksheets, and there are 3 questions, and please answer the 3 questions, and then we will hopefully anyone who want to volunteer. I would like someone to volunteer after we finish answering the questions. So anyone can volunteer. We can do the practice together. Okay. So let me share my screen of the worksheet as well. So let's go through it together once. Okay. So now can everyone see my screen? Okay, so this worksheet, so everyone also open up the worksheet, right? Not an issue open. If you have any issues, please let us know in the chat box if you can. Okay, so seems like everyone should be okay. So first question. So interviewer asks you this question. Give us an example, a episode of yours that you think that was the hardest time for you, and how did you overcome it? What did you learn from this? So give your answers on the right side. Second question, give us one episode that you think that was a failure in your career. Okay, and then what did you learn from this as well? Okay. Third question, give us one episode, your stories, your experiences. You think that it was one of the most proud moment that you're proud of yourself the most in your career, and what did you learn from this as well? So now let's take about 5 minutes to do this worksheet. Okay, so yeah, so when we do this worksheet, maybe you can start with the conclusion first. This was your answers. This was my hardest time, for example. And then after that, you can bring a little story of yours to support why your answer is like this. That would be first. And the second one, you'll go why you think this time it's a failure. And then what did you learn from this? And then your story behind this. Okay. And your proudest moment, what was your proudest moment? And what did you do here, and what did you learn from here as well? So bring a conclusion and a conclusion answer, and then a story to support your answer. Okay, so let's take some time to do this. Yes, and anyone need helps, please let us know. Okay, does everyone finish question 1? Or need more time? And let's keep working on this. And I can give my own example of the proud moment. Okay, I will give a proud moment of my own. So previously I mentioned about my breast contact project, and that was during my university time in school. So how would I answer this question? So interviewer asked me, so would you like to tell me your stories about your most proud time in your career or in your school time? And what lesson did you learn from it? And what I would say is my breast contact project I did in 2017 with my friends from my university, And so the reasons why I'm proud of this moment was I never thought I would be a professional musician, that I can not only perform concerts, but also I can produce actually albums online. Not only the physical copy, and also we can listen to it online for free. Okay, so that was my proud moment. And what we have done was throughout the whole year of school, five five of us, four friends, including myself. I play first trumpet, another friend plays second trumpet, and then one trombone player, one French horn player, and one tuba player. We practice weekly twice together. On top of it, we individually practice as well to pick up musics, what type of music we want to play, and what type of music we decided to not play, and what type of little nuance in the music we want to do or not to do, even little discussions as well. And then when we booking concert halls, we also need to organize which concert hall would be better for us, or let's say what producer would be better to print our CDs. So until the end, each of us have our own responsibilities, and we put our effort into this project. In the end, we have an actual product in front of us. That's why I feel like this is my most proud moment in my musical careers. So above is one of my example. So is everyone finished the worksheet? Or anyone needs more time? Oh, someone cannot download the Excel file. Just a second, let us check. Okay, so let's take another two minutes for everyone to able to finish some part of the questions, and these get through question one, and these get through one questions. And we'd like to ask volunteers. Is there anyone want to volunteer though? It would be great if anyone could want to practice too, and we will be able to tell you maybe using numbers, using clear words. So now, anyone wants to volunteer? It'd be greatly appreciated if anyone wants to volunteer, and actually you can do the practice together to answer the questions. Let's see. Now I see. I'm not sure if I pronounced the name correctly. How about the Kamlesh Sung? Would you like to volunteer and try answer? Let's try practice this.
I can share my hardest timing. When I was studying in my school days, my hardest timing I remember is that when I plan to get a entrance examination of a university. At that time, I couldn't pass the entrance exam at the 2 times. I failed that entrance examination. In the third times, I passed the examination with the help of my teachers and my friends. And for that passing the entrance examination of university, I studied around 5 months continuously to crack that entrance examination. So that in my life, I think that that was the hardest time I feel in my life.
Okay, thank you very much. That was great. And I could hear that you use numbers, months, or 3 times, 2 times. So that was a good thing. Do you like to try another? So how about your most proud moment?
Yes, sir. My proud moment also in my university days after I get an entrance in university. I get one opportunity to host the student welcome party program. Actually, in that student welcome party program, I was leader of that group. After completion of that student welcome program of that group, I was praised by many teachers and also from the principals and also all for the students also, and that my the proud moments in my life.
What's your most proud moment, Nick? Give you applause. And then how would you say, what did you learn from your most proud moment?
Yes, sir. From this proud moment, I learned mainly, sir, teamwork. Because in my that group members, actually there was 20 group members, and from that 20 group members, I was the leader in that group. Because to success in that successful completion of that program, actually leadership was the main key to success the program. So I learned a leadership from that program.
Okay, thank you very much. And let me give you another. Okay. And so let me pick another person. If yeah, let's see. Okay. Ajit Kuma-san, would you like to try? Would you like to volunteer? I'm not sure if I pronounce your name correctly. Would you like to volunteer? Oh,
Sorry, sir. Here is some noise there, so I can't be able to speak right now. So I'm just only listening. Sorry
okay.
for the inconvenience.
Yeah, not an issue. Thank you for letting me know. Okay. And how about, let's see. Okay, then let's see how about the
Let me try that.
Sure, go ahead. Thank you for volunteer.
Yeah. Yeah, first of all, thank you for organizing this. This is the first time I'm listening to. Sorry, I have a kid, so I also have some noise. Sorry. Yes. Daijub. Yeah, hardest timing in my career would be like I joined a job, and after my college, it was on 2008. When I was joining, there was a recession phase, so I could not get job on time. Like they were planning to onboard me by May month, but they could onboard me by November. So I was not sure whether I'll get a job or I missed to apply for a higher education. So what to do? So that was very difficult time, like before entering into the career. So somehow with God's grace, I get into the job by November. After 2 years, I was working really hard. Like I wanted to do everything in the best possible way. I mean, it was my first job, so I was very curious about learning new things, attending a lot of training programs. So I was enjoying it. At the end, like after 2 years, I was supposed to get a promotion. So at the time, I was expecting it because everywhere I got appreciation from my on-site and from my team leads, everyone. Okay, so okay, it will go through. I was like that, but at the end, it didn't work. I mean, the reason I got was I was supposed to complete 24 months, but I completed 23 months of work experience. Was just for 1 month. I was lagging behind. So that was the very hardest timing, I would say.
Okay. Thank you very much. And then still congratulations for you to be able to now be able to be where you are. And so now I can give you some suggestions. And first of all, I can hear you use a lot of numbers. For example, you use which year and then which year. And then so that's a good thing. And on the other hand, one thing, or let's say a couple of things you can do is, for example, you mentioned you work hard, you work very hard, right? Instead of use work very hard, maybe you can use in your example, in your story, you also mentioned, oh, you join some training programs, and you said you joined a lot of training programs. You can maybe mention out, let's say you did 5 training programs, 10 training programs, using the numbers to show, oh, this is how much you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
So,
thank you for the feedback.
yeah, but thank you very much for volunteer, and it was very inspiring story, and to hear from you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm looking forward to work with CareerFly more in my future. Currently, I'm in a break, so I would join back after completing my Japanese certification. So I'm excited to start my career in Japan. So I was from India, so I worked around 12 years. So I'm looking forward to work. I mean, it's going to be a first year of experience in Japan because experience, I don't see it will work here. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, and we're looking forward to hear from you. So now that we're almost toward to the end of the hour, let me go back to the slides, and then we will go to the next part. So now we'd like to go into the Q&A session. Does anyone have any questions? You can leave in the chat. Or anyone wants to ask questions?
Yeah, sorry, can I ask the same question? Like, I am from a different zone. Like, I'm from India. I have a corporate work experience of 12 years. So in a Japanese work culture, will that be counted, or it will be like a fresher kind of thing here?
So first of all, so depends on what type of industry you're looking into, right? If you're looking into the same role, for example, that the software engineers, if you software engineering in India and using, let's say you're applying to a Java job, and you come to Japan, you're still applying to a Java job, then that shouldn't be counted. Yeah, so this is an example. So it would depends on the roles which you're looking for, unless you're going to
Okay. Yeah, I'm basically a non-technical person, like business analyst kind of role I was doing. So for that role, it's I think in technical things, I think it will be counted, right? Okay.
Now I see some questions coming. Okay, so it also. So how is the border situation right now? So currently, Japan's border situation is, of course, for the job huntings right now, I shouldn't say job hunting, for the people who come to Japan for jobs right now, they are every day from until May, the cap each day new entries around 10,000. But on the news currently it says start from June next week or Wednesday, actually they will double the cap to 20,000 to 20,000. So yeah. So that's about the border. So for the people who come in here for come in here for not job hunting, come in here for work visas or come in here for the student visas. So currently it's slowly open up for the Japanese border situation. And then another questions. So what kind of questions should I ask to company in interview? In general, if you can show your curiosity into the company, for example, about this job roles. So for example, how big is the team size in this specific teams, or who are in the teams, or let's say, how is it like for the interviewer, for example, if you're in the field engineers interview, and how is it like working in a team? You can ask their experiences as well. This could be questions for them, and from their answers, then you might be able to come up other questions to ask toward to the work, toward to the company as well. Okay. About the border situation, I forgot to add one note. The start from June, the Japan government also now open up for the tourists to come to Japan as well. But if just every day there's a cap for the new entries. Okay, so it's almost to the end. Let me see if there's. Is it bad? I see another question. Is it bad to share negative reasons when I explain the reason for job change? First of all, in general, we try not to be negative. We want to talk bad about or maybe previous employer or the current employer. In general, we try to avoid these. But at the same time, we also don't want to lie, right? We also don't want to lie. But unless you also have other reasons that you can explain, otherwise, negative reasons for the job change, if it's a reasons that's not because of you, but you need to be prepared to have the actual story to support why you have this reason. If you can support it well, that make the company think that's not because of you, then it could be okay. Yeah, but in general, we just try to not have the negative reasons and negative feel vibe during the interviews. Okay, so yeah, it's toward to the end. So yeah, if you have any questions, please fill the form in the chat box, and we will be able to answer to you individually by emails. Okay, so please fill out the form. Any questions? Okay, so let me continue. Okay, so now I would like to talk a little bit about some tools, two tools that could help you to career up in Japan. First of all is the CQI cross-culture adaptation test. This test could allow you to know your own strengths, weaknesses, your working tendencies. And so by knowing this, actually you can leverage these points during your interview or application process, leveraging your strength point to, for example, show during the interviews of your strength point. And by knowing your weaknesses, you can try to make it from, let's say this line is 0, but you can bring it up closer. So you can leverage these parts during interviews using this CQI test. Taking this test, you can see the data, visualize data, and it can tell you of maybe who you are, strengths, weaknesses, etc. So for now, CareerFly, we have two plans. One is plan A with the test itself and also one-on-one explaining. And then the price is 5,500 plus tax. Plan B, it's the test, one-on-one explaining, and then a consultation session, one-on-one consultation session, and 6,500 plus tax. But if you willing to agree to share your user's voice to CareerFly for us to use as a marketing content, but of course no one would know it's you, to use as a marketing content for the user's voice, then you can get the plan A with 4,000 Japanese yen or plan B with 5,000 Japanese yen, and these plan will include 10% tax afterwards. Okay, so this is CQI. And then the next tool is Sail. Sail is a Japanese conversation practice app. So you are able to have conversation with Japanese native speakers, practice your Japanese. And I personally also use this. So from me using starting last November until now, try to do it once a week or twice a week to practice. And I have found myself improves my Japanese language quite a lot. But not only this, actually, if you have Japanese interviews, maybe you can use this in speaking or practice your Japanese interview with a native person. They might be willing to help you out as well as a interview practice tool. Okay, so right now, two plans. One is 1 month with 1,500 Japanese yen. Another one is 3 months with regular price 4,500 Japanese yen, but right now the campaign is 3,000 Japanese yen. So basically you get 1 month free. So if you also interested, please let us know. So please do not miss out these two tools that could possibly help you career up and practice your interviews, career up in Japan here. So please fill out the form if you're interested below. We are able to share the more information about these two tools with you. Okay, so thank you again, everyone. And then finally, before the end, so to get to know the last information, so about job markets, about Japan, about COVID restrictions, and then some other open positions, you can reach out to us from the CareerFly's LinkedIn page or connect with either me, my QR code on the right side, and then Tomomi's QR code on the left side, or on our screen right now behind me. You can scan the QR code and connect with us. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone. So thank you for spending this 1 hour tonight with us in the Friday night, and have a good night and have a good weekend. Hope to see you in the June meetup.